Okay. Hi there, guys. I hope this is recording well. So, I have decided to do this because I've been wanting to do this for a while, and it's been in the back of my mind like, should I do it or should I not? I'm sorry if I get hate for this. This will be mainly my personal opinion. So I hope you enjoy this. This is going to be an art review on OhNips art. Well, that didn't sound that good. It sounded good in my head. So, I've been a fan of OhNips for a while, and by a while, probably 2, 3 years. I'm not going to be showing a lot of art in here, but I'm just going to mainly talk about it because, in case you want to see more of her stuff, please go check out the links that I'm going to leave in the description where you can check out a lot of what she's done so far. This is going to be mainly, you know, just a representation of what she has done and not really everything that she has done. So I want to start out by saying OhNips, Nicole, uh, is a freelance artist. She has a comic called Off Cell. I'll leave a description for you guys to see her comic. It's a really nice comic. Uh, it takes a while for her to make it. Of course, she's doing it by herself. So, in case you also want to, the other links will have, some of her updates, some of the other art. She does a lot of it about off sale, but not really updating the comic itself because I believe it's very hard, when you're on your own doing a comic like that. But the comic is amazing. I like it a lot. I like the art in it, and I like the story. So let's start off by talking about the comic. It has, for what I think now, four main characters. They have been the main characters for, well, since the beginning, to be honest, for a long time, and she has introduced some other characters, but I would like to think of them as just secondary ones, although I think she gives them also quite a bit of importance. Four main characters are Yago, Anya, Sasuke, and Pim. I'm sorry if I say their names incorrectly. So let's talk about her art because this is an art review. OhNips art is what I call, and what a lot of people call, anime inspired. It's art that connects you back to the Japanese style. Now, this is something some people might not agree because it does have a little tone of comic feeling to it, but in my opinion, which hasn't always been this way, sometimes I would have a discussion where I show this to people and I would tell them, I don't think this is really comic like, but the more I knew about it and the more I researched, it is very much like a comic style. Pretty much their faces, the eyes, the nose especially, is very much like a anime or manga style than it is a Americanized comic style. Also, their bodies, the perfect lines on the sides, the way they drop, the long legs on the characters. You can notice this especially in Yago. I'm sorry if I'm saying their names wrong. It's just that my language is not English and it's not Spanish and it's not Asian and it's not. So I might have trouble saying their names, but I do think it's Yago. I hope I'm not saying it wrong, for God's sake. Uh, so you can notice on him how the lines are very perfect. And this kind of reminds me of a manga that's, well, any manga that has to do with a guy in high school. His body type is very much like those guys. Or, oh, I remember now, Free. So his body is very much like a Free character. In case you see, it's a Free, it's a anime about swimmers. Exactly. That is what it is. I like it a lot. You guys should check it out. So you can see it in him, and also I want to talk about something else in here, which is the color choice. As you can see, they are quite colorful. I mean, they're not exactly something that you would put in the background of a scene and they would just, be the background. It's something that you can notice, like, as soon as you look at them. I know what I have here is a sketch, but usually the colors are a little bit more popped up, and especially in Sasuke. Her colors, as you can see, red eyes, blonde hair. Pim, also, his hair is usually brighter, or at least that's what I see in my perspective. Now, here's something that I usually connect to the characters. Their colors are very much like their emotional state, and also very much like their own personality. For example, Nips does this, and I don't know if she's noticed this. Sasuke, when she's mad or when she did her mad, I felt like her eyes were a little bit darker or more well-rounded than when she just did Sasuke with Anya, for example, where the colors were simpler. For example, Pim, the colors are more exaggerated when he's angry, but to be honest, this is something that Nips probably realized when she did it. The colors are always exaggerated when it's a hard situation. For example, that's this part in the comic that I love. And in the comic, the characters are very noticeable because the background that she does, especially in the prison scenes, it's usually just total blue. Except for when there's some angry parts where she turns it to a red, which is perfect because, blue and red are so different and they bring us different feelings. So when she does that, when she turns it blue, it just makes the characters pop even more. Also, from what I know of the comic and from what I've seen of the art in these 2 years, I know that this is only a sketch and it's really just sketchy. I should have picked a better picture, but this is what I did, so now I'm stuck with it. But their pants are a darker tone usually. It's just, this picture is nice because it just shows you all the characters and it makes them look really nice. I like this picture a lot. So it's just bad because of it's not a representation of what she does in the comics, but I don't want to show you the comics because I want you to go read it by yourself. It's really good. If you like it, then leave a comment saying that it's a really nice comic, because it is. So, going on to talk about this, she probably knows what she's doing, and that is what I want to say right here. She knows what she's doing. For example, in the backstories of the characters, I feel like the colors are always different from the prison because the prison feels bland. It feels just simplistic, while the characters shine in it. But in the backstories, because they are so important to it, the colors, for example, in Anya's backstory, the colors are very bright. They are very much like they should be in her home. For example, Pim's backstory, the colors are very dark. And I think it always applies to the space that you want to put out and how you want to put it out. Because if you wanted to have, a lot of importance, you obviously need to make it shine, and that's something that she does very well. While in the prison doesn't need to shine, the characters do. Now, moving on to what I said before, that the color in the characters is connected to the personality. For example, let's look again at Yago and Sasuke. The colors of Yago are very dark toned, and had the lines on his body that are black. That was probably a decision that she made and it just fits perfectly because in case you do read the comic or you do see the art that she does, he is a darker character than the others, or at least that's what he is made out to be. Sasuke, on the other side, she is what I like to call a happiness faker because she fakes to be happy and she is not. Hence to why I think that her red eyes are just perfect. Also a little bit of an insanity, which you also get to read the comic and it shows you that she's a little bit insane, but I mean all of them are. You can trust me, they all are insane. But Sasuke, especially for me, the way that she is portrayed. For example, Anya, uh, just typical Japanese, if I'm not wrong, just typical Japanese style. You know, the crazy hair, the cute little eyes, the eyebrows made in a triangle, and her little gold tooth. It's very, very cute. Pim, Pim's insane. He's just simply insane, but he's portrayed as somebody who is normal. And when you see his backstory, I guess that for me, the way that she colored him makes a lot of sense because it feels like he wasn't supposed to be evil. He just ended up being so. And so putting him with natural colors makes him more believable in that he could have been a nice character. It was bad luck and he is not a nice character. Moving on to secondary characters, which I also want to talk about their colors. Now, Henzo, I don't know much about, to be honest. I don't think there's much art on him, or much art that I've seen. I'm sorry if there is, Nips. I am so sorry. But Yosef, there is a lot of art on him, and damn, this character is one of the characters that I most love. Besides Jet, I'm sorry that I don't have a picture of her. Please go check out who Jet is. Jet's amazing. And she is so worth it, okay? Checking out Jet is the best. Because, okay, let's just say this. Nips does art that is probably considered at least 16 plus. And Jet has some really nice arts, and one of the reasons I didn't put her here is because she has a very nice ass. I won't lie. So I decided to put this picture with Yosef because she also has some art that I have saved in my phone, but I thought this one was good. He's very nice character, and from what we know, you know, like it says right there, he was a drug dealer. So his colors being white and blue is very neutral. And for me, white and blue in a drug dealer is pretty much like saying that this character just doesn't like to fight, or that it has a side but it's very, you know, it's very in the air. You know, you don't know exactly if they are, you know, evil or good. I think that white, it can be, you know, in a nice character, but it can also be a representation of neutrality. So for me, Yosef is a really nice character. And so, like I said, I don't know much about him, so there he is with red hair. So pretty much probably not a nice character. Moving on, Nips is very, very gentle with us, and she has given us some of the best gay couples that I've ever seen. My favorite gay couple, though, in her series, not really a couple, not really gay, it's Anya and Sasuke. Because Nips let us know, like in the air, that her characters, they change and they are either, bi, or they haven't chosen yet, or they are, they're confused. So they are sometimes together, sometimes they're not. For example, Pim really likes Yago, but Yago doesn't like him. But we also have scenes with Yago and Jet. But in case you are confused until now, Jet is a woman. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Jet is a woman, not a man. So I love you, Nips. God damn it. The LGBT community must be proud of you. We are proud of you. And this is a very nice skit, just showing how Yago doesn't like Pim, but he can still try. Now moving on. Oh, I took that picture before well, that happens. Moving on to the Yakuza Brothers. So these are the brothers of Anya, like I showed you before, one of the main characters. These are her brothers. While she is the one that commands, they are still pretty cool. Their design is awesome. When I first saw this, I was like, wow. Their tattoos are just so bright, so amazing. And their faces and just everything in them is just so awesome. These characters are exactly what should be in a comic. So I'm very glad that she's done this, because this is, wow, Nips, just like, wow, this is awesome. Like, very, very proud of this. Very proud of having her as my favorite artist. And when something like this is put out by her, I'm just like, wow, new characters, wow, and they're amazing. This art was very cool. I also remember some of the other sketches that she had from this characters, and it's just something that I really appreciate her work in. So, yeah, these ones are what I think is amazing. Also, just because I don't want to leave you guys behind on this, you have a little thing. It's also on her page, so go check out her page. There's two more people that I didn't put, which are the Wardens. So you should check it out. So here we go: Anya, Pim, Yago, Saskia, Alvin, and Yosef. Now I didn't talk about Alvin because, well, I didn't talk about Alvin. But Alvin is also a cool character. I'd advise you look in the comic, because that is where the best of his art for me is. As you can see, he kind of looks like a girl. At first I thought it's a girl, and then I realized it's not. Don't confuse that with a girl. He is definitely a guy. Moving on to Nip's other art. She does a lot of stuff for League. She is well known in the League community because she does a lot of art for teams. For example, like I'm showing right now, Cloud9, or if you even want to call it, Tip. So, as you saw, this art is awesome. It has nothing to do with her actual art, but it's still something that can be extremely appreciated. In case you do look, everything is so detailed, and at the same time it's very simplistic. It kind of confuses your eyes to choose which one to look at, but it's perfect. You just look at it from afar and you can see everything that's in there, but then you want to see what is in there. You want to see more of it. I like the little details on the shirts, the little shadows. I like the light coming from the sign. That you can see it clearly goes from the sign down into the sides. I like clearly the flames, well, not really flames, the smoke coming out of both sides, and the Yasuo wall. It's very, very nice. Clearly she put a lot of work into this, and she put a lot of work into the previous one, which is Cloud9. Although this one, it's more separated, and I didn't like it as much because of the separation and the way that they are posing. But it is also one that I think it's very worked on and very nice. Except I think the tip one is newer, and this one is the older one. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying what I see. She hasn't only done teams, she's also done characters. Here's you know, an example of it. OhNips has done several characters from League. This is just a little piece with, Timo, Ziggs. It's really nice. Ziggs having all those smudges of dirt on his face, Timo looking evil, Gnar just being a little cutie. That fits it so well. I love this art. And also, it has colors that are very bright. And like the characters, they're very, they look very much like the characters. You can immediately look at it and be like, oh my god, that's Gnar, that's Timo, that's Ziggs. Because of the smile, for example, on Ziggs, or the little bone on Gnar, the Timo hat, clearly, but also his little face with the eyes up. That's something that only Nips can do, and I love her for that. Also, she never fails to do the lighting correctly, which is amazing, and I love the way she does it. So, as I said, she loves anime art, so it seems. So, she has done some art that has to do with Kill la Kill, and like I have here, Gurren Lagann. She does it amazingly, and she put a lot of effort into this. I remember seeing, the art only done in the beginning and then the evolution of it, and it's just wow. She put so much work into this, and it's amazing. It's just one more reason for you to check out her stuff. And I'm just, every time I look at her art, I feel amazed. Okay, this is just amazement because I love her art. Last but not least, I would like to talk about something, and I am sorry if you are offended, but honestly, I can't deal with people who are offended by this. So, she did some gender bending, and she got threatened. I was very surprised when I found out. I'm also very angry. First of all, the gender bending looks amazing, okay? And if I had not seen the hate going around, I'd have never guessed that, this was the cause for it, because this is so cool, okay? And being so hateful against her, I was just like, wow, this is absolutely terrifying. And at one point, she even said she was going to leave, Twitter, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe that this is what we come, to. And it's horrifying. I think we need to put a stop to this because, she was just doing something that she thought was cool and that we think it's cool, we the fans. So you have no right to just appear out of nowhere and tell her that you're going to do something to her. No, get away. Okay? Nips has always been very important. It's amazing to see that something like this happened to one of my favorite creators. And not amazing in a good sense, clearly, in a terrible one. I was very, shocked, and I was very mad because she doesn't deserve this. She is amazing and she creates stuff that is loved. So people should, if you said something to her, you should really apologize, because what I saw was absolutely terrifying. Okay, now if Nips is watching this, I absolutely love you. Yee. If she doesn't watch this, thank you for watching, whoever you are, because I put some work into this. I was going to put more images, and Clearly, it's just a quick review on her, but love you and thank you so much for watching. Bye.